Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the current situation we're all living through, which is the quarantine related to this coronavirus. And I want to do it from a different angle. I want to talk about how different personalities are dealing with this coronavirus, how they're dealing with the quarantine, with the new reality of having to be locked inside, and many times with loved ones with whom they might not have spent so much time with in the past, and where they have to establish new dynamics that are respectful of all the different needs of all the different individuals within the family. Before we get into it, if you like personal development, if you like entrepreneurship, and if you like technology, make sure to subscribe because we have many goodies coming up. Personality psychology is very valuable in this situation. I'm going to talk about introverts, ambiverts, and extroverts in this video. Introverts are people that need lower social stimulus, more privacy, more personal space, more routines. They need to plan things, analyze things. They have some very concrete needs in their day-to-day that need to be respected. Ambiverts, they are middle energy. They are not fully extroverted nor fully introverted. They can enjoy both high and low social stimulus, but what they prefer is a medium stimulus where they are spending time with loved ones, sharing experiences with the people they care about. They have certain needs of connection that need to be respected. And finally, we have extroverts who are highly social. They need more physical movement. Generally, they need to go explore more. They need to see new things, try new things, spend time with more people, have more ambience. They're more impulsive. How can you take different personalities and respect their needs, integrate them into your needs, communicate your needs, and bridge those gaps? That can be quite challenging. I live with several roommates that are also my colleagues, employees, co-founders, what you want to call them. So we live together and we work together. Luckily, we have a lot of experience doing this since before the quarantine. But obviously now during the quarantine, it has become a little bit more difficult for all of us because we had certain activities, certain routines that recharged our internal batteries, provided us with inner peace, brought out the best out of every individual, and respected everyone's needs. Now, however, we're in a situation where the extroverts, they can't go out. They can't go out and have fun. They can't go to a party. They can't explore new neighborhoods, new places, new restaurants. They can't have that constant change. Ambiverts, they might not be able to spend time with those loved ones that are very special to them that they like to visit on weekends. Or they might want to spend more time with people here in the office that they really care about. And the introvert, they tend to want more privacy, more personal space. And yes, they have their bedrooms, yes, they have their desks, yes, they have their noise-canceling headphones and things to disconnect. But in the past, they have had times where all the extroverts would leave the office and would stop making noise, where they would be out adventuring, exploring, and there would be peace. Now the introverts have to deal with extroverts being present all the time, and extroverts who are stir crazy, that need to move, that need to change things, that are like anxious, like I need to move, I need to explore, I need to get out of here, I need to get out of here, I need to get out of here, I need to see something else, I need to see new walls, I need to talk to new people. So introverts are getting stressed because of extroverts that are stir crazy and not noisy and are invading their personal space. So how do you manage this? Well, first of all, every person has to communicate, I have this need for personal space or movement or fun or adventure or communication or just time with loved ones, etc., etc. Like, communicate your needs. Ask people, what do you need to feel better? What fills you with energy? What fills you with inner peace? What regenerates you? What recharges you? What gives you more mental clarity? What gives you more emotional stability? What brings out the best in you? What things are you currently lacking because of this quarantine? And how can I help you? How can I provide you more of that? For extroverts, they might have to be calling more people and having more phone calls or Skype calls or Zoom calls, or they might have to, redecorate the room constantly and, okay, now I'm going to redecorate this so I see something different. Or they might have to play some games that are thrilling and exciting and new games and new things and change the routine up every day, something new, so it's not the same monotonous day to day. We have to find ways to support extroverts during this time because they are robbed of their main regenerative spaces in most cases. And sometimes we can help them with their projects that they get excited about and help them advance. Sometimes we can help them redecorate the room. Sometimes we can help them play a game with them. Sometimes we can make jokes with them. Sometimes we can run around the house and just kind of make a mess and just kind of feel some thrill. And yes, sometimes it means we have to step out of our comfort zone if that's not natural for us, but it is something generous that we can do temporarily, as long as once you need to disconnect, you can communicate, okay, now I need to disconnect and I need this time for myself or this process for myself. Ambiverts, they, generally speaking, need to spend time with you and sit down with you and have deep conversations with you. They need to have deep conversations with their loved ones. So encouraging them to call their loved ones, encouraging them to have vulnerable conversations with you where you really deepen your relationship with them. Having family cooked meals, that's important for them. Having a meal where you're sitting together, where you're not all on your phones or all in other places mentally, but where you're present with them. A lot of ambiverts right now are enjoying the quarantine in the sense that, I get more time with my family. I get to see my loved ones more. This is so nice. I never have this luxury. I'm so blessed. Ambiverts might see this as an opportunity to spend more time with those people they care about if they live with them. If you don't have that same instinct of togetherness, at least dedicate a certain amount of time a day for that togetherness. And introverts, they need their privacy. They need their personal space. They need to isolate themselves a little bit. It doesn't mean that they are antisocial. They just need to reduce stimulus so that they can think, so that they can breathe, because they are highly sensitive to everything that's going on, because they're listening to everything, seeing everything. They're digesting so much information, because introverts, their energy is directed inwards towards analyzing and thinking, whereas extroverts, their energy is directed outwards towards socialization, movement, etc. So introverts, they generally prefer more personal space and more alone time, and that doesn't mean that they're rejecting you. So respect that. Include them, communicate to them, you're invited for this family dinner, you're invited for this game night, you're invited for this project that we're starting. But if you want to spend some time alone in your room or in your home office or whatever, I'll give you your space, I'll respect it, but you are included and you're invited. That's a good way of, including someone, but respecting their pace, their space, and their routines. Introverts, they often have routines, which means at this hour they exercise, at this hour they shower, at this hour they have breakfast, at this hour they have dinner, whatever it is. If you know their routine, make sure that you're not occupying the things they need at the times in which they need them. Because they can get frustrated if they get to the kitchen at the time that they need something in the kitchen, and then you're utilizing the things they need. Or maybe they're going to do exercise and then someone else is using the exercise machine that you have at home. Make sure to ask them, what are your routines? At what time do you like to do what? So that you can respect their times. That will help a lot. And ultimately, just knowing which people with whom you live are extroverts, which people are introverts, and which are ambiverts will help you greatly to be patient, to be empathetic, to not snap at them, to not get impatient with them, to not get annoyed by them. Because one thing is supporting them, but another thing is being tolerant of them. Because every personality, every individual, when they're drained, when they're insecure, when they're stuck, when they're paralyzed, they utilize their character traits in a more negative and destructive way. Every personality, every individual, when they are recharged, when they feel inner peace, when they feel confident, when they feel happy, they are going to utilize and direct their personality in a more positive way. Which means now during the quarantine, everybody is more drained, is more insecure, is more paralyzed, is more fearful about the future. And therefore, it is very likely that a lot of people around you will start bringing out more negative character traits. Don't judge them for these character traits, because these are temporary. This is not how they always are. This is just how they are when they are in a not good mental state. And yes, help them get to a better mental state if you can, but start with yourself so you have the patience, flexibility, and mental clarity to help them. As they say in airplanes, first put the oxygen mask on yourself and then on the people you're taking care of, so that you don't pass out in the process. The quarantine you can use in one of two ways. Either you get stuck, you get paralyzed, you get upset, you snap at everyone, and you become your worst version, or you take this time to transform things, improve your relationships, improve your projects, take control of your life, develop new skill sets, learn new languages, learn new things. And if you take this time as a process for personal and professional development, you're gonna leave this quarantine a happier, more confident you. But if you use this quarantine to blame everyone else, to complain about everything, to reject and criticize everyone, to get frustrated with everyone who has the processes, get upset because the extrovert just left the house when they shouldn't leave the house, or the introvert doesn't want to join for dinner because they need their privacy, or the ambivert wants too much of your attention. If you get too upset every time someone falls or does something that annoys you, and you take that and let it grow and create resentment, you're gonna have destroyed relationships at the end of this. If we look at China, where they're finally getting out of the quarantine in several places, divorce rates skyrocketed the moment that the quarantine was lifted. So make sure you're not one of those people that ends up destroying all of your relationships and your self-worth during this period. This can be a period of transformation, or it can be a period of destruction. It's your choice. But the more empathy you have, the more self-awareness you have, the more awareness and empathy and respect for others you have, and the more communication you have with others, the more likely you are to get out of this a stronger, more resilient you. That's my tip for today. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, subscribe. And if you want to be notified when we have more of these videos, ring the bell. And with that in mind, I say see you in the next video.